Welcome back to the Darkroom. Today I have two prints lined up from my walk down Dahariz beach, and it's good to be back in the Darkroom. It has been some time, so I'm pretty excited to get these prints done. I'm focusing on the bird photos that are isolated and have some shadow or reflection that adds a bit of dimension to the image. So the two I've picked out, I think, represent the aim that I'm looking for. Now all I need to do is get that vision from my head onto a nice piece of paper. So let's give it a shot. I've already set up what I need. My chemicals are ready. The negative is in the enlarger. If you happen to watch my last session in the Darkroom, I had an issue with dust and spots on my negatives, and I'm really hoping that I took care of that today. I spent a lot of time to get this negative clean and make sure everything is right, so I will be a little frustrated if I get spots again, but that's how it goes sometimes. Do the best you can and see what happens. So let's get our first test print done and see where we are. I got my negative all squared up. I was just shooting for fun, and this first shot is a bird flying right across the horizon from me. So my horizon line was not part of my plan. So a little tricky, took a little time to make sure that my horizon is level enough so it doesn't seem completely out of balance. So that is set, it is focused, it is ready to go. 2.5 grade filter as my first attempt. And I'm gonna say about 6 seconds. We'll see how that one comes out. Okay, so clearly I was measuring the wrong horizon. There's only one horizon, but in the negative, I was looking at the wrong part of the ocean and the beach, and I have made a mistake. So I gotta go back and reset the correct horizon. Yeah, way off, way off. I don't know what I was looking at. Oh, maybe it's too early in the morning for this. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it, but my horizon was so off that my picture is no longer 8 by 10. It's now going to be pretty thin and long because the horizon was so off that shifting it no longer fits in the frame. So we'll do it anyways and see what happens. Also, 6 seconds was way too long, so no more 6 seconds. Probably go down to 4 seconds, see if I get the balance that I want. Horizon fixed. 4 seconds seems to be about right. So 2 things done. Still using the Kentmere BC Select Fine Luster. I think it's gonna look pretty good on this image. This negative is very grainy. I really enjoy it. So I'm interested to see how that high grain comes out on this paper. So let's get that done. Four seconds was perfect. So I'm gonna make one more print on this one and move to the next negative. Pretty happy with how that first one came out. Seems 4 seconds was spot on for what I really wanted, but I did try one at 3 seconds, and I will show you the results of that in the end. But it's on to the next image. Again, horizon correction. I think I got the right horizon this time. We'll do a test print and see if I got it right. That first test print, it was developing, it was coming in hard and fast. I knew that was going to be too much time. Get it out of the developer and stop it. Maybe I can save something nice for myself. And then did another one and have it in the developer. It's much more gradual. I'm liking how it's building, much slower, and developing the mid-tones and the lighter tones in a comfortable pace, I guess is a way to say it. And the test came out all right. I think I know where I need to go. On my first one, I'm getting just too much black, especially on the bird, and I'm losing a little bit of the white of the bird. It's just becoming this very dark thing, and it's kind of feeling heavy. And heavy isn't the thing that I was looking for. 1 second less makes a big difference. You can see that the overall image is much lighter. The dark, heavy blacks aren't all that fully developed, except right in the wings right here. You get a really nice dark centerpiece in the image, but I can still see a little bit of mid-tone and gray in the bird now, and I have its shadow. Now the sun is on this end, so this side will be blown out a little bit and gradually get darker, which is fine. I like a visual grade, no problem. I'm thinking this just might be where I need to be. This is 4 seconds. So I'm going to do a print at 4 and see if the overall image is as pleasing as I think it could be. My first image at 4 seconds, and I enjoy it. I sort of like the lightness of it, but I do see areas to improve in trying to balance a bit more of the overall image. Now, I like where the blacks are going, but there's definitely not a lot of highlights and those sort of softer mid-tones because the sun is coming from this side of the image. So I'm doing all right over here, but not so all right over here. Now, while I have the negative in the enlarger, I'm going to try and do a split grade because I don't really know enough about how that works. So I know that my contrast filters, as they go down in number, are going to give me more of my highlight mid-tone areas to build without affecting the blacks in a way that's going to throw them too far. So start with a 2.5 grade filter for 4 seconds to get this image, and then I'm gonna drop the contrast filter to a 1, I think, just to see what happens, and do maybe 3-4 seconds again, see what happens to the overall image. Maybe I'm lucky, maybe I'm not, but I will learn something, and that's all that matters in the end. How can I learn to get the images that I want? While the prints were drying, I decided to take a nice walk on the beach. Now I'm back. Let's finish this up and review the results. My test prints started out a bit heavy. I definitely burnt these a little bit too much. I'm not in the area that I would like. It was about 5 seconds. So I knew I got to go less, and I decided on 4 seconds got me right here. This is pretty much where I wanted to be. I have the shadow of the bird. I have some really nice dark tones and some really nice whites with a nice soft gray for both the sky and the sand. Very happy with this one. But I decided to take a little bit of time off just to see what that would do. And that got me this image. It is slightly lighter. I can see it, I don't know if you can. The black on the bird is a little bit grayer, and it's sort of softer across the image. I like both of them. I think they both have certain unique quality that is appealing. And of course, the shadow was one of the key elements that I wanted to make sure that I maintained. Now, I did mention that I tried one more print at 3 seconds just to see if I could sort of high key the image, but I kept the 2.5 grade filter. I probably should have gone 3.5. I think back to get more of what I had in my mind, because what I got is this. You can see the bird, you can see little blackish dots of other birds, but not really what I was looking for in my mind. But again, it's a good attempt, and I've learned something important. And that is, I should think about my contrast filter if I'm thinking about taking an image such as that one and making it into more of a high key image, because the blacks are definitely not developed enough to sort of create the image I had in my mind. But I know what it is, so that's enough for me. All right, on to the next image. My first test print, too much, no question about it. Second test print, that is more like it. I could see a little bit, maybe a bit too much on the blacks and the darker tones on the west side, and the east side where the sun is definitely going to be burning out a bit. But the main subject, the bird and the shadow, was coming out as I would like. So with that, this was the first result. I like it. I like it very much. I'm keeping the subject and the shadows looking nice, but I did see over here a little bit room to improve and get more of the image developed. So I decided to do split grade. So I decided that I would do 4 seconds as this image, and then I would do a 1 grade contrast filter and do 3 seconds, hoping to build more of the image. And the result makes me very happy. I don't do split grading, and I was just guessing, and I think I've learned a lot from that. There's definitely a lot more coming through the image on the eastern side, and I feel that it balances the image a bit better from being just too white and burnt out on the original image. And I did leave it in the developer for a pretty good soak, just to make sure that I was getting as much of the lighter midtones, light tones, and highlights developed and built as much as possible. And I think the balance of this came out really well. I am happy with the result, and I'm happy that I learned something new and important moving forward when I find maybe some difficult images, and there's ways I can try to get the result that I want. Well, I enjoyed this darkroom session. I think the results are very rewarding. It's always nice to have some positive reward for the effort and the time that you put in. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'll see you next time, and take care.